Right, welcome back ladies and gents to FTRL. This week, round 10, Hungary. So, joining me somebody new, I say somebody new, and the well-known Simon, or Boy Flag. How you doing, mate?
Hello, hello, doing good.
Nice to have you with me, should I say. No recall tonight, unfortunately.
Yep, I'm covering for Lee tonight. He's going to do F2 tomorrow.
Commentary transfers, I like it. Alright, a few drives out on track. Only 14 tonight. I think we have a couple just running late, so we might have a couple more joining throughout quali, hopefully. But I guess the main thing is the two championship leaders, or the two championship fighters, should we say, are both here, so the fight goes on. Alright, I'll load everything up. So, what are we expecting for tonight then, Si?
Dunno, it's a tricky one, Hungary. It's pretty high downforce, considering it's a fairly open, flowy track. That middle sector is going to be where the difference is made tonight, I think. But yeah, I would be expecting the top two, so Zach and Dutch, to do what they've done all season and be duking it out at the front.
Yeah,
but we could see a couple of surprises tonight, with a few missing. A couple of the guys normally further down the order might be able to pick themselves up some half decent points.
Yeah, I suppose the nice thing when there's a couple of guys missing is you always get a bit of a mixed up race, which is always nice to see. But speaking of Zach, he's just started his flying lap, coming up towards sector 2 now, so he's the first guy who will give us a timed lap, so we might as well stay on board with him as we go through the chicane. There's a couple of guys coming out on the hards, which is oh, Zach runs way wide.
Yeah, he should get away with that as far as track limits go.
Might not get away with that one though. We'll see. Still pushing. Nice and tidy. Yellow flag somewhere. I don't know if people are just letting each other go and such things. DRS is open as Zach comes across the line. It's a 116 flat. Quite slow, really, that, isn't it?
Yeah, walk around here faster than that. Absolutely not.
Dear. Danny's on his outlap as well. Had a bit of a dodgy season. Obviously, he's missed quite a few races, which has left him down there fighting for relegation. But he definitely needs a few decent results to stay up. Pagani does an 18-1 on the hards. Right, so Mr. Statman, I believe the last time Dutch had a race around here in FTRL, it wasn't a great one.
No, he had a few incidents, and I think that was the only time that season that he finished off the podium. I think he finished P4. So even having a bad race, he still finished in the top 4.
Yeah, as is the standards of a two-time champion.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the results he's had this season. So Dutch missed the opener in Bahrain, but since then, the last 8 races, he's podiumed every single one.
Yeah, took advantage of when the Ferraris haven't been here, which has put him in the lead of the current championship.
Zach's done the same, but he's done 7 races against Dutch's 8.
Yeah.
But Zach comes into this demanding form with a second place and 2 wins in his last 3. Dutch has had a win, a third and a second. So not much between them.
And hats off to Zach as well, because that just shows how much of a competitor he is. It shows how quick he is. You know, to be 1 race down and coming into this, what is he, 16 points behind? I mean, that's fantastic. Dutch, we know, is extremely quick, and to only be 16 points behind, having been a race down as well.
I was going to say the last 3 races this season are going to be a lot of fun to watch, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Dutch has spun on his in lap. He rode that curb, the death curb. On that right-hander. I'm sure you'll know the name of that corner. I certainly don't. The one just before the chicane.
That would be Goy curb.
Ah, Goy curb. Okay, that'll be easier to remember, I guess.
As I say, I don't think Hungary's got corner names. It's just numbers. But we affectionately called that one Goy curb after he spun there in, I think it was season 8, and collected me as I came round. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a very dodgy curve, that one. So
yeah, the inside of turn 2 is the same. At least it was. I haven't really tried it on this one.
Oh, I don't tend to ride that curb, so I wouldn't be too sure about that one.
So Dutch is going again.
Plexit's, or LR Betty, is about to start his lap as well, also on the hard. So quite interesting that a few of the faster guys have gone for a hard run, and whether they've not had a lot of practice and they're just trying to get a feel for the track.
They're trying to get some tyre wear practice in.
Dutch is down there at the minute though. He's backed out of it, so he'll definitely pit this lap, I think. Zach's come out on the softs. Aaron stuck his way into P2, although he had set his time on the softs, I believe. Oh no, mediums. 17.4.
So I think Aaron will be hoping for some better fortune tonight. He's not had the rub of late. Been a few races this season where he was on for.
Oh, that's an Alfa Romeo into the wall. Oxy. He went round the outside of. Oh, that was close. He went round the outside of Tico, who let him by. Turn is at 4, 5. So that sort of sharp left-hander. Yeah. Oh, is that Dutch round again?
As well.
Is that Dutch again? Oh no, it's Bran. But yeah, Oxy just lost it. I'm assuming he ran out wide a little bit onto that curb. Quite a few guys struggling out there though.
Yeah, it's not a particularly high grip circuit from memory, but it can be quite hard on tyre wear.
Andy coming around on the medium tyre, just finished sector 2. On the so what time he does not set a time just yet. I would expect him to get up there because, like I say, most drivers have set the time on the hard tyre. Under the Rolex board he goes and puts himself P2 with a 16.9. So what's that, 5/10 quicker than Aaron? Not a bad time at all.
Andy. Got a few guys in the chat already. We've got Donzo with the obligatory Team Rovers. Agent Panda's in, Napola's in, Evening Napola. City Posh is in, Goy's in, hashtag claims by the curb, at least 4 tonight. He's referring to turn 5 or Goy curb. Aaron's
about to start his next lap on the softer tyre. He's got a racing point behind him as well. Not sure who that is. Lennon, who still hasn't set a time, neither has his teammate. And Oxy with that spin, meaning he hasn't set a time either. Let's try and go down to the Mercedes garage and see if we can see any movement. Doesn't look like anybody's coming out, so I wonder if Dutch will leave it late, come out on the softs and just try and steal that pole position.
So the time that's left, he might struggle to get 2 runs in, so he might just let the clock wind and give it a one shot.
Aaron running a little bit wide. I think the Toro Rosso might have put him off slightly. Got to keep it nice and tidy around this long left-hander.
Now, interestingly, Aaron had run out of ERS going into the final corner. So it's a high battery usage circuit.
Yeah, he's improved by a lot though, puts himself 3/4 tenths in front of Andy on the softer tyre. Back to P2, so I'm sure he'll pit in again and see if he can quickly get himself back out. Oh, one of the Ferraris coming back out, I'm going to assume that's Tico. Oh no, it's Zach.
Brand's in the chat as well as the cockpit asking, did you see his spins?
Yeah, I was just about to read that. We did. Unfortunately.
I mean, I didn't, but I'll take a look at the stream back later on. I'm currently sitting P6 as Bran.
Yeah, so multiple times this season that Bran massively goes under the radar. I won't say he's underrated because he's definitely rated by us at FTRL. Found a lot of pace in the last couple of seasons, and he's more than a good teammate.
I think season 9 really was a breakout season for him. He showed glimpses towards the end of season 8, but yeah, season 9 he really flourished.
Yeah, cracking teammate to have. You know, Dutch, being as quick as Dutch is, you definitely need a strong teammate who's going to step up and help you fight for the constructors, which is obviously what Dutch wants to do. And like I say, Bran is no slow driver and definitely helps Dutch out. So, just under 4.5 minutes to go. A couple of drivers coming out. I think I saw a racing point. I did. So Cress and another Mercedes is coming out as well. Is that Dutch? Oh no, Dutch is actually coming towards the end of his out lap. So that was Bran. Right, go on board with Dutch then. So he's on the medium tyre. So I don't know whether he thinks he can do his lap, get back in and get back out on the softs, or...
Well, I'm currently tracking Zach.
He doesn't want to start on the softer tyre. Bit of a slide on the exit of turn 1.
I mean, that's the thing though, with the 2 extra points for pole, Zach probably needs to go on the softer tyre just to maybe claw a couple of extra points back.
Yeah, get some points where you can. Oh. Dutch took that.
Zach's coming to the line.
15-2.
15-5.
5, okay. My mistake. Great one. I'm sure seeing that pop up is give Dutch more determination. .3 seconds up on his time at the moment as he comes towards the last couple of corners.
I see he needs to get a decent lap in. This is going to be the only one he gets.
P2. There we go. Fantastic lap. Once Tico and a couple of others set their lap times, he might be a little bit further down the grid than what he'd like, but he is starting on those mediums.
As I say, starting on at medium, he's going to give himself, he's thinking long term, as he often does.
Saying that, Tico has also done his lap on the mediums and has done pretty much the same time as Dutch, so that's extremely close.
1/1000th difference. But yeah, Dutch having a very, very gentle win lap. Taking as little life out of that tyre as he can.
So, I think you're right there, Si. I think Zach just going for the 2 points. But is that where he's going to fall short? 'Cause, again, Dutch thinking of the long term, thinking of the race. That's where you get majority of the points, obviously. Whereas Zach is just going for that quick 2 points where he might now struggle in the race. So it's going to be good to see how this one sort of turns out.
I mean, the thing for Zach is he does have the track position at the start as long as he gets a decent start, and there's only really two overtaking opportunities for overtaking.
Yeah.
And that's turn 1, turn 2 at the end of the DRS straights. Other than that, it's pretty much a case of follow the leader. I mean, there's a couple of corners where you could have an optimistic lunge, maybe catch someone by surprise, but yeah.
Whoa, Aaron really riding those curves. Bran currently setting P5 just behind Aaron on those mediums. And he's backed out of his lap, so that's going to be it for Bran.
Well, he's got time to go again. He'll make the line.
Oh yeah, he's turned everything up, so he's going to go. Aaron peels into the pits though, so that's him done. Currently sat P4 on those soft tyre. So if he stays there, pretty good qualifying from Aaron. Calandy is finished, currently sat P6. And a few of the guys towards the bottom now are all on the medium, so Ravers, Pagani,
Dutch
Betty.
went for another lap and he improved to a 16.1. Still P2.
That's quite a... I mean, I'm not gonna question the decisions of a two-time champion, but would you have done another lap? Would you not have just try and keep a little bit more time in the mediums? Or I mean, I'm assuming he's got a little bit scared of Tico there and thought, you know, with how close it was, Tico, if he gets passed into P2, he might try and hold him up for his teammate. So maybe that's where his thinking was coming from.
I don't know, but Dutch and Tico have both done extra laps on that set of tyre. They both put 3 laps through it, so they should be pretty equal on tyre wear.
Well, Dutch will definitely have his reasons, but everybody else has finished. So there's your starting grid. Zach takes precious 2 points heading into the race as he takes another pole position. Dutch just behind, well, I say just behind, 6/10, although he's on the slower tyre. And Zach's teammate Tico in at P3 on a 16.4. So not bad at all. Dunzo with an ass comms, so we know about the Bendo bottleneck and Guy Curb. Are there any others we should know about?
Well, we've got onto the podium corner, which is at turn 11 in Bahrain. Bendel bottleneck is turn 12 at Bahrain. I think Aaron's got a corner. I think we've renamed the 130R the 130 Aaron at Suzuka. Yeah. I'm sure there's a couple more, but I can't think of them off the top of my head at the moment.
Aaron isn't happy with his laps.
No, but he's got
Expressing that in the chat.
He's got Grandad Bob's backing in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, if I might be mistaken, but that's Aaron's best qualifying of the season, isn't it? So definitely things to take away from that. Brand saying he could have got P3. Well, that would have helped your teammate out quite a bit without having that Ferrari up his gearbox. But yeah, I genuinely think that was why Dutch went for that next lap, just to get rid of
Just
Tico.
to make sure that
Yeah,
he was ahead. Yeah.
having Tico in front would have massively helped Zach. So
It's going to be interesting to see how far Zach can take that soft tyre into this race, and how much pace he can keep in it.
yeah, needs to pull a gap quickly. Being on the soft tyre will help him definitely do that. Like you say, just depends how far he can take them and if he can be consistent with his pace.
It's looking like this lobby's broken.
Definitely taking a long time to load. F1 have really been having some problems with their lobbies lately.
Well, I know we had a dodgy lobby on Wednesday night, but that might have been not been helped by the F1 esports event that was going on.
Right, so I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a restart. Which is going to help out Matt Cause massively, who has joined in quali.
Conspiracy theories. Matt Cause glitches lobby. It's just so he can get us set up.
He'll still start at the back, however, but like you say, he's now gained the setup.
Well,
we've dropped in, but a few drivers would have left, so I'm going to quickly get out of that. Might as well go to the showroom and just pull the Mercedes up. Why not? Right. So I'm just going to pull it up on stream. So the grid is Zach, Dutch, Tico as your top three. Aaron, like I say, I think that's his best qualifying of the season, starting P4. He's on those softs though, so he's in sort of a medium tyre sandwich. Bran is P5 with Danny, which I also think is his best qualifying of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Like I say, needs a good result this week to try and get away from that relegation zone. So if he can get a high finish, that will definitely help. LR Betty P7, Colandi P8, Lennon at P9, with Pagani rounding out the top 10. His teammate just behind him, F3 in P11, Ravers P12, Crest P13, and Oxy, who didn't set a time, P14. We'll have Mark Kors joining in the race, I believe. So that will be P15 for him. And I think that'll do us. So, going off that starting grid then, Si, how do you think it'll play out?
Well, obviously the guys in second and third starting on that medium tyre, and it will now be a fresh medium tyre. We'll be able to go them an edge over Zach at the front. Like we said, Zach's going to have to build an early lead and try to hold on to it until he pits, but he'll have the advantage of a fresh set of soft tyres, so we'll get an extra lap or two out of that. Yeah, I think that leading trio are probably going to break away from the rest, and then it's going to be interesting for those, you know, sort of P4 back. The qualifying times weren't, you know, too different, so the pace is fairly equal. So as long as no one tricks over each other early on, could have a good race on our hands.
Yeah, I think if Aaron gets a good start, he's definitely poised for a podium, should I say, if any of the top three guys crash. Wobby's back up, so let's quickly jump in there. So guys in the chat who are watching, give us your predictions as well, what you think the podium will be. Definitely want to know. So the gap now at 14, heading into the race site. Can't obviously be wrapped up tonight. How do you see the title playing out? I think we've lost sight. Pagani underestimating himself again.
Right, I'm back. I had to let the dog out.
Right, okay. Goikart's gone with a Dutch, Zach and a Tika. So as it stands, just the top two switching positions. But yeah, now you're back. I'll put the question to you again. 14 points now the gap heading into the race. So how do you see that title race? going?
Well, as long as both drivers make it to the 2 races after this, I see it going to the wall. I think that Dutch's lead is going to shrink. I think going into Brazil he's probably going to have maybe an 8 or 9 point gap over Zach. Yeah, so Brazil will be spicy.
We always love to see a title go down to the wire. Peterman asking if Aaron can sneak a podium. Well, I said before, he's there waiting in the wings. If any of the top 3 guys have a mistake or crash out, if Aaron can get a good start, he's definitely going to be in and around there.
I was going to say he almost snuck one in Baku.
Yeah.
If not for his unfortunate incident at the end.
Yeah, it's not been the best of seasons from our league owner. Currently sat P8 in the championship. Highest finish being a P5, which he got at Canada. So I think we're just waiting on one driver, who I think has just joined actually. So Matt Coors is in a car. I think we are ready to go. So as always with the restart, all the drivers obviously have to start on the same tyre that they would have done. So nobody obviously gains an advantage that way. Although I guess everybody sort of gains an advantage in the fact that all their tyres now are going to be fresh. Hopefully no problems, and we can get racing.
Yeah, to quote Samuel L. Jackson from Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts.
Peterman also asking if Plexits can steal a podium as well. Goy also just reminding everybody not to forget their setups. So any driver who puts the wrong tyre on will be disqualified. So mightily important that all the drivers take the time to make sure their setups are loaded and tyres are right.
So tyres only an issue for the guys inside the top 10.
Yep.
Of course.
So, second few already. Here we go.
Here we go.
Would you like to take us through the formational lap, Si?
I would not. No, so starting from pole, we've got T1000 Zach chasing Dutch in the championship, so he's going to have to track position early on, needs to build himself a gap, make use of that fresh soft tyre while he's got it. Zach playing the long game, Dutch playing the long game as always. Very Prost-like approach to his racing, I think. He's sort of FTRL's professor. Tico, I think, virtually mathematically out of the championship race, so will now be focusing on bringing that constructors title home to Ferrari and helping Zach in any way he can in his push for the driver's title. Aaron P4, good qualifying from Aaron. Would love a change of fortune. If the guy's battling out front, you never know, he might be able to get himself a podium if those guys clash or something goes wrong. But yeah, leaving the field for the best of the rest, so see what he can do from there. Bran having another solid season and a solid qualifying in P5. Feels he could have gone a couple of places better, but didn't quite get the lap in. Danny qualifying well in P6, missed a few races at the start of the season. He'll be looking for some good points tonight in his relegation battle. Betty or Plexits, not seen too much of him. Obviously he's returning driver, first race last week, seeing what he can do the rest of the season. Andy, another solid season from Andy. Be nice to see him continue his solid run of points. Lennon needs to find some form again because he's slipping into that danger zone for relegation. Pagani rounding out the top 10. And then we've got F3, Ravers, Cress, Ox and Matt Cause starting from the back.
Very nice. So, 3 red lights, 4. Away we go. Oh, Saka's got a monster start. Tico already in the section of Dutch. Might try and have a look around the outside. Dutch has had a bit of a slide. Manages the whole P2 though, but that's going to help Zach even more. Tico having a little bit of a look up the inside. Ooh. Yeah, so Pagani's got himself up into P9.
Yeah,
so
Pagani
moving
takes it
forward
side by
already.
side. But yeah, all looks fairly clean so far. Oh, big slide from Plexits, and did he collect Ox? No, Ox made it through.
A few drivers seem to be just struggling a little bit with grip. Like I say, it's not really known for its grip, Hungary. It's normally a little bit slippy here and there. So we need to be careful with the gas pedal. Aaron has dropped back a couple of places. I don't know if he's just made a mistake, but Danny and Bran have both gone through, so that's a bit of a shame for him.
Ox has made up 4 places off the start. Plexits has dropped 4. So they're the big winners and losers on the opening lap.
Oh, Oxy just trying to make a move on Coandy.
Well, he got past Pagani in turn 1 and almost got Andy for good measure.
Yeah.
But yeah, out of front, Zach's already pulled 1.5 seconds to Dutch.
So, Dutch has actually got that back down though. It's currently sitting at 8 tenths.
Oh, someone's had someone at the moment. Yeah, Aaron gone backwards. He's now down to P8. I think he's had a wobble through turn 4, the quick left-hander.
Not having the best opening couple of laps. Is Aaron. Like we said, he was there waiting in the wings for a podium if the top 3 guys make a mistake. At the moment, he's going the wrong way. Oh, there's a racing point. Massively wide there in the background. I think that was Cress.
Some very wide cars out of there.
Zach getting his gap back outside that sort of DRS zone. Dutch has managed to shake off Tico a little bit as well. Oh, Aaron's in the pit. I wonder if he had damage then. Might explain why he was going back a little bit, but he strapped on the medium tyre. He's now running at the back. Massive shame for him. And like we said before the race, really not having the best of luck this season. Ooh. Ox and Pagani both running slightly wide. I think LR Betty's gone round yet. Into the wall. I think he's lost his... No.
Is he missing a left end plate?
Yeah, a little bit of damage on the left, but nothing too serious.
I mean, round Hungary that can be pretty serious.
True.
Need as much downforce as you can get round here.
So Tico back within DRS and managing to just hold on to the back of that Mercedes. Dutch meanwhile struggling to sort of break back into that 1 second to Zach, managing the gap quite well at the moment on those soft tyre, but they are going to start degrading relatively soon.
Yeah, well, you've got Ox and Matt Cause, who both started on the back row together, currently up in 9th and 10th, so they're both up 5 places. A couple of good early laps from those two.
Michael's definitely taking advantage of the early mistakes from a few guys. However, he does have that
most
penalty.
of this race, will Matt. He was very eager to take part and believes this might be his final race of the season.
Okay.
With other commitments coming up over the next couple of weeks.
Well, Dutch is in the DRS and it is wide open.
Now we've got
Into turn 1.
Co-Andy trying to apply some pressure to Lennon for P6.
There's a few battles going on at the moment. F3's on the back of Matt Cause, 410. So I'd say Matt Cause does have that 3-second penalty. Not great to pick up an early pen, so we'll see how Matt Cause deals with that through the race.
Dutch is pushing that Mercedes. He was a bit skittish out of turn 5.
Yeah, he seems to be struggling with traction out of a few corners, Dutch. I mean, he definitely needs to watch that curve. Having that spin in quali will definitely be playing on his mind, I think.
It would have woken him up.
Yeah. Right on the back of Zach
yeah,
now,
right.
though.
Yeah, his car didn't look particularly happy through that twisty section.
There we go.
Zach pits.
Zach's in. So he's not been able to take those softs as long as we thought he would. So
I was just saying, I would have expected another couple of laps out of those. That seems very early. Be interesting to see what tyre he goes on to.
mediums. Nope, hards. Why did it come up as mediums?
I was going to say they changed colour a few times on my screen, but yeah. So he's got to take that hard tyre 29 laps.
Dutch is in a good position now. He's shaking off Tico. 2 seconds now is the gap, so he just needs to keep pushing. Meanwhile,
Tico's
Tico
gone round. I just went on board with him coming out of turn 2. He was side by side with, I think it was Pagani.
A lot of damage on that left hand side and right side. Getting out of the way of Aaron, I think. So Zach is 3.5 seconds off the back of Ravers. And then he doesn't really hit a lot of traffic until he gets to Cress. So
We've got
just needs to push.
a 3-car train for P2. Tico, Danny and Bran.
There we go. Danny might have a look into turn 1, a little bit too far back on this lap. Can't have a look into turn 2 either. So he'll be behind for at least another lap, but he's getting closer. Actually picking up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, it's a dodgy one, the pit entry in Hungary from memory, because I think there's 2 lines and you always expect the further line to be the speed limit line, but it's the limiter's a bit earlier than you're expecting it to be. It's caught me out many times.
I always just look out for the boards, not the line.
Well, I've even stopped looking for the boards. I'm just looking at the sort of distance marker on that flashes up.
Oh yeah.
Right, here we go. The race down to turn 1 for P2.
Yeah, Danny is a lot closer than he was on the last lap. Still not close enough, I don't think.
I still think Tico's getting the better run off of that final corner.
Yeah, Danny still can't do anything. Needs to change his line, like saying to the last corner, Danny. Try and get a bit of a better exit. But he was definitely a lot closer. Coandy is right on the back of the racing point. And Zach is right on the back of Ravens as well.
Might be worth thinking about a wider line into that final corner, trying to get the car straightened early, but by doing that you do open the door to the car behind. If they're close enough to try and lunge it in there, or brand very sideways. Oh, Danny sideways, he's caught that though, but he's going to lose him a position.
Tico in a Mercedes sandwich. And Zach is right on the back of the Alfa Romeo now, so that's going to be losing him time. Not much you can do about it at the moment. I would expect him to make a move down into turn 1 though.
Yeah, so Bran and Danny having moments on that lap have just bought Tico a bit of breathing space.
Yeah, Danny can't get back past up towards turn 1. Coandy having a look at the inside of Lennon as well. Decides better of it. F3, yeah. He's going to go for a move on Matt Cause as well, up the inside of turn 1. Matt Cause got being forced out wide a little bit.
Got a monster exit off that final corner. So
he's up into
P11. Past the Alpha.
Oh, Matt Cause has gone back up the inside of F3 and these guys are battling hard. Contact.
Banging wheels.
And Crest behind will be licking his lips at this. Matt Cause still on the outside. Now has the inside. Massive slide from Matt Cause. And I think with those guys being so close, I think they actually stopped each other from sliding out there.
Yeah. I think Crest had half a look at going up the inside of the pair of them then, but thought better of it.
And they were pretty much side by side, all the way up to turn 6. And then Marcos didn't have the greatest of exits on the chicane. Crest again going massively wide. And Zach is actually coming up to the back of this battle.
I say you look behind this pack and there's a bright red Ferrari on its way.
Got some yellows in sector 2. I think that's Betty. Yeah, not having the best of times. Neither is Ox. Here we go. F3.
Yeah. With these guys battling as hard as they are, Zach's going to have to be a bit cautious here.
This time. Matt Cause. Oh. Squeezing him out. F3 had nowhere to go there.
It was a robust defence from Matt Cause.
And
he had the line as well within his rights to do it.
I wonder what Zach is thinking right now.
Oh, they've crashed! Yep, Chris got into the back of him.
Zach nearly flew straight into the back of that. I don't know how he avoided it.
but by avoiding it, that's 2 cars he hasn't got to overtake now.
Yeah, that's the best case scenario, that, for Zach. He now just has to get past F3 and he's got a little bit of clear air again.
Lennon is very slow. F3's caught up to the back of him very quickly. He's had a moment out of...
I was going to say F3 had a 9-second gap to Lennon. So something's gone wrong for Lennon there. Bet he's called it a day. F3 might be having a look up the inside into turn 1. Thinks better of it. However, Zach is not waiting around. And he gets the move done up into P8 now for the Ferrari driver. And now just has to get past the racing point of Lennon.
I think Lennon might be struggling on that medium tyre, you know.
Yeah, doesn't look very good, does he? Dutch now has a 3.5-second gap. Lennon has a massive slide. And Zach again has to avoid a car going through that section. Great reactions from the defending champion. A little bit of clear air now. He's got 6-second gap up towards Pagani.
Out in front, we haven't really spoke about it for a couple of laps, but Dutch has got a 3.7-second gap back to Tico.
Yeah, he's doing quite nicely at the moment. Tico's holding Bran off, just keeping him with outside DRS. Danny, meanwhile, still holding on to the back of Bran, giving him something to think about. Matt Cause is in. Will it be a replacement front wing for Matt Cause? I think it probably will be. That moves Aaron back up to P11, or up to P11 should I say. Matt Cause is back out on the medium tyre.
Right, well, Zach's got 5 seconds up to Pagani now, so he's got a little bit of clean air in front of him, which he'll need to make the most of.
Mid-race prediction from Donzo. Ravers will get a top 8. I don't know whether Dutch has had a bit of a moment, but that gap between him and Tico has come down by half a second that last lap. And it's continuing to come down. So I don't know whether Tico's just putting on a little bit of a push. Lennon might be having a look into turn 1 on F3.
I was going to say, despite his handling issues, he's hanging on to F3.
Oh, Dutch has got a penalty.
Picks up a time penalty. That could be big come the end of the race.
Danny's right on the back of Bran again. Gap between Zach and Pagani is now 3.8. Closing in quickly. I wonder what lap those medium tyre can go to. Oh, Danny is so much closer to Bran this time. A little bit wide on the exit of the final corner. But you would expect him to get the move done now. He has to go to the outside because Bran is defending.
So if he can keep it there, he'll have the inside for 2. He just can't get the run off the corner.
Yeah, great defending from Bran. Lennon is into the pits, straps on the hard tyre, so Aaron back into the points. However, Aaron will be having to pit again. Zach now has sight of the Red Bull.
Yep. Another lap or two and Pagani will either pit or Zach will be in striking distance.
Lennon's
Round
come
boxes.
out behind Matt's. Yeah, Tico's in as well. So maybe
Danny
those
is going to
mediums.
try an overcut lap.
Yeah, I'm sure Dutch will react this lap as well. So he has to turn everything up. Time to push. Pagani's in, so that releases Zach. Here we go then. So let's pull up the gap to leader. And when it eventually loads in, we'll have a look. So 20.5 seconds is what splits Zach and Dutch. I think Zach not getting caught up behind that sort of three-way battle was huge.
So Dutch has got a little less than a pit stop, so I would think he's going to come out maybe 3 seconds, 4 seconds behind the Ferrari, which is going to put him right into the clutches of Tico. Tico, of course, getting that undercut lap.
The Ferrari boys have played a blinder there, I think. There we go, Dutch is in.
Dutch is in.
Danny follows him. I'm sure Andy will probably pit this lap or the next lap as well. Yep, stays to the left, so Andy will go again.
Dutch is released, he's on his way down the lane. Ferrari's in the final corner.
It's going to be close.
It's closer than I thought, actually. Dutch has got it done.
Well, there we go. How long is a pit stop around here then? It can't be that long.
I think it is one of the quicker pit lanes on the calendar.
Well, hats off to Dutch.
But yeah, that pit stop I think only cost Dutch about 19 seconds, because what did you say was 21, 22?
Yeah, it was about 20.5, I think. So he's come out what, a second ahead, so 19.5 seconds for a pit stop. Not too bad. Now the most important thing to remember here though is Dutch does have that 3-second penalty, which at this point will still put him behind Tico as well.
Yeah, he's got that 3-second penalty, but he's also got a set of tyres that are 9 laps 10 laps younger than Zach's.
Very true. Currently behind Coandy, who...
Not for long.
Yeah, for Dutch's sake, peels off into the pits, and a massive sigh of relief, I'm sure, for Dutch.
Dutch did get the DRS off of Andy.
And Zach doesn't have it, so that is a huge advantage for Dutch there. Oh! Zach spun!
Oh.
And he's into the wall. End plate is broken. And that could be a huge talking point.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there. I was just looking at Lennon and Ox.
He just spun it on his own. I think, yeah. He's put his foot down a little bit too early. And car's just gone round on the exit. Well then. What do we think of that, Si?
Well, yeah,
that's massive.
That's blown it open, hasn't it?
That is massive. So, Zach, do you pit again if you're Zach? I'm sure you have to. You're going to lose way too much time.
I think
otherwise.
he's got to. He's going to lose too much time with that damage.
Yeah, look how wide he's running.
But is he going to be able to get a set? Is he going on a medium tyre? Is he going to get it half a race distance?
Well, we'll have to see what he does. He stays to the right hand side.
He's in.
So we'll have to keep an eye on him, see what he goes on to. Tico
I'll keep
is
an eye on him and let you know.
2.9. Thank you. So Dutch obviously still has that penalty, which still might hand Tico the win, but I mean, I don't think Dutch will mind too much about that because his closest rival is now outside the points.
A set of medium tyres go on that Ferrari, as well as a new wing.
I don't think he's going to get those to the end. I mean, the most we saw was what, 15 laps? He's got to take them about 17, 16, so going to have to drive carefully and somehow get himself back into the points. He's come out a second and a half behind Cress.
Yeah, it's damage limitation now, it's just scoring whatever points he can, but if Dutch picks up 20 points, that will be a 34 point gap as it stands at the moment.
Yep, 44 left.
With 44 left. Yep.
Dutch sitting fastest laps.
Having seen Zach's misfortune, is now pushing to cover that 3-second penalty because Dutch will want every point he can get as well.
F3 has peeled into the pits, putting Aaron into P5, who's still going on those mediums tyre. 16 laps is now done on those, so it's definitely possible for Zach to take those to the end. He's right on the back of Cress and will be making a move into turn 1. There we go, pulls out. Job done. Up to P11 now for the recovering Ferrari driver. 8.5 seconds is now the gap to F3. A lot of work to do.
Danny and Bran are still driving around together.
Yeah, the overcut didn't quite work for Danny. However, he does now have a lap fresher tyres, which I'm sure he'll try and use slightly to his advantage. Tico's fighting back.
So when does Aaron make his pit stop? It's now.
Yeah, I was going to say, it has to be the next couple of laps, surely.
So I imagine we'll see another set of mediums go on that Haas.
So where's he going to come out? It's dropped down to 8th already. Matt Cause is on the straight as well. I think he's going to come out behind Zach. Three-way battle going on at the moment for 6th place though. Ravers, well I say 6th, it's actually 5th. Ravers on the back of Pagani. And Coandi
so Pagani's
him.
just got past Ravers then. And yet Aaron comes out just behind Zach.
So that's put Zach back into the points. I think F3's actually disconnected F3, so that's going to help Zach as well.
Ghost car.
So his nearest car really then is Matt Cause. Brand goes defensive. I don't think Danny will have quite enough to do it into turn 1. Might have a look into turn 2 though.
Ravers makes his pit stop, having started on the hard tyre.
Three and a half seconds now between the top two. So Dutch
Danny's
is
still
just
being
managing
towed
that
around
gap
by
quite
Bran.
nicely. Zach. Currently P9. 6-second gap to F3. So realistically, where do you think Zach could fight himself back to?
Well, I'm just seeing a little bit of lag or something between Danny and Bran.
Currently side by side on my screen, heading into turn 1. Oh, Danny with a massive snap on the exit. Oh yeah, Danny spun. He's got a bit of a gap to towards Pagani though, and he didn't take any damage. I don't think. He looked like he went into the back of Bran, but I don't think he picked up any damage from it. Not too sure how that played out on your screen.
Yeah, unfortunately I didn't quite catch it because the camera angle I had, Danny hadn't come around the corner.
Colandi right on the back of Pagani. And Zach is now 4 seconds behind F3.
I'm wondering if that's about the sort of area that Zach might find himself at the end. Around Pagani and Colandi.
Yeah, I mean, it's what, about a 8-second gap between Zach and Colandi. 8-9-second gap. Obviously Zach has those fresher tyres and is extremely quick. Here we go then. Andy extremely close to the back of that Red Bull. Pulls out and we'll get the move done before turn 1. Great move. And up into a solid P5 for Colandi. Crash back in the pits, so I don't know if he's picked up damage. Looks like he has. Ooh, Kwandi went a little bit wide. Anything in particular you're watching at the moment?
I was just sort of keeping an eye on that gap between Matt Cors and Pagani, and it's really changing. So I think the way it's going, I think Pagani might have Matt Cors covered. Yeah, that would be big. I mean, it protects Dutch, that penalty. But
Danny picks up one as well.
I was just having a look at the constructors table between Ferrari and Mercedes, obviously with Zach dropping down and Bran inheriting a P3. Yeah, it's going to work out in the Mercedes' favour. They're going to gain a few points on Ferrari, so it's currently 42.
Sure, Mercedes will be trying to fight down to the wire for that constructor as well. Zach is passing the Ghost car of F3. Ghost car's doing everything it can to fight back, but unfortunately Zach can go through it.
What happened to Matt Cors?
Ooh, he has a lot of damage.
Yeah, so at some point while I was almost muffed the pit entry, he almost Matt caused it.
So that'll put Ravers back into the points. So that's a massive shame for Matt Coles, because I think he was up there in 7th or 8th, weren't he? So that's put Zach now to P7.
He was, I'd say, he was 5.5 off of Pagani when I last looked. But yeah, with 10 laps to go, Zach 7 seconds off of Pagani to P6.
He's had a few things go his way, has Zach. He could have quite easily been held up by that traffic, but that crash sort of allowed him to get through. And he's had a few drivers in front of him struggling with pace. Lennon just quite easily glided through. Now with Matt Coles crashing as well, he hasn't really had to do much overtaking Zach on this sort of recovery drive.
Yeah, but for all those things that have gone for him, there's that one big thing that went against him.
For sure. That gap between him and Pagani though is coming down relatively quick.
I'll say it's come down a second in a lap.
Tico and Dutch. That gap is getting bigger. I don't know whether Dutch now knows Tico has a penalty, or whether Tico is now just sort of trying to bring it home.
So I'm pretty sure those two boys are normally in a party together.
Ooh, that time is dropping so quick. 5.2 now is the gap.
Yeah, and that's half a lap.
What are those yellows for? Oh, Cress has spun. So Coandi and Pagani go through. Zach is the next guy to go through there. Cress has got his car moving again though, so I don't think it's going to cause too many problems. And Cress very smartly gets out of the way.
I'll say pulls well off track.
Fair play to him for still going.
I think F3 has got back into his car.
Ah, that's nice to see.
Not ghosted anymore.
However, he does have Aaron right on the back of him now. Oh, I say it's nice of him to still going, and then he goes and retires. That's a bit of a shame. So, the gap now just over 4 seconds between Pagani and Zach.
Yeah, Pagani is trying to keep tabs on Coandi, since he's hung around at sort of 1.5 seconds for a few laps since he's been passed. Yeah, I'm wondering if Zach might be able to get the pair of these.
Aaron right on the gearbox of F3 now as well, hunting down that P8. All things considered, Zach, like you say, might get past these two, and a 5th place wouldn't be too bad. Three seconds the gap now. Aaron couldn't quite get past F3. Still right there though. Danny picks up another penalty. I think that's his 2nd now, isn't it? Or his 3rd? I mean, a couple more and Zach will jump past him as well. 2. Yeah, I've definitely seen 2, but I don't know if he's got any more. And I don't think Zach has picked any up, so a couple more for Danny between now and the end of the race, and that'll get Zach up another position.
I was going to say, from memory, it's not very often you see Zach pick up a penalty during a race. Normally
Another
quite tidy.
second and a half taken out of Pagani on that lap alone. Zach is
So
absolutely flying.
He could be within striking distance at this point in a lap's time. He could be making a move into turn 1.
Pagani's fallen off the back of Kawandi as well. It's now 2.5 seconds, that gap. Don't know whether Pagani's seen the pressure of the charging Ferrari behind him and that's just put him off slightly. It's an experienced driver, Pagani, though, so I'm sure he's handling it quite alright.
So he normally chooses his battles wisely, does Pagani.
Well, Zach is within DRS, so like you say, he will most likely be seeing a move into turn 1.
Aaron's still behind F3.
Here we go then. A little bit of ERS saving from Zach just through the second to last corner onto the straight. DRS open. I'm sure Pagani will just turn everything down and not even fight him. I'll quickly go and have a look at the gap between Aaron and F3 as well. Aaron just still not close enough. He's right there, and I bet it's so frustrating Aaron just can't get past. But Zach now has broken free and is closing down the McLaren of Kawandi. 2.5 seconds is the gap. You can see him on track. The hunt is on. Ooh, Aaron getting very close to that death curb.
Well, I won't tell you what penalties everyone has, but I can tell you that Zach doesn't have a single warning at this point.
Oh. Now that's consistency at the highest level.
So even, you know, with the crash and having to push probably that bit harder than he would have wanted to, he still kept it clean.
Yeah, great job. Aaron looks a little bit closer, however I don't think he is. 6/10 coming around the final corner. Definitely not going to be close enough to make a move into turn 1. We can get a good exit though, might be able to try and make a move into turn 2. No, just not close enough. Zach, however, has closed the second that lap to Kawandi.
Once again, I think we may see a move at the start of the next lap.
The gap between the top two hasn't changed since the last time we checked it, which was, what, 7-8 laps ago. Still hovering around 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, and shout out to Danny. After that spin behind Bran, he's caught the gap back up. He's 2.5 seconds off.
And we said Danny needed a pretty big result to pull him away from the relegation zone. And
I mean, if he
this will
holds
definitely
that P4, I think that goes a long way to what he needed.
will certainly help him out. Zach,
I mean, the thing for Danny is a lot of his issues this season haven't been his racing or not finishing, it's been his connection.
yeah, I mean he was on holiday for the first 4 weeks and then he disconnected
say,
from 3 when he got back.
As I say, there's a bit of a running joke within FTRL about, you know, what lap will Danny disconnect this week, and
yeah, big shame.
Zach has arrived on the diffuser of Kawandi.
Yeah, I can smell the fear. penalty for Aaron. I think that might just lock him in to a P9. I don't think F3 has any. I certainly haven't seen any, from what I can remember.
He's well safe from behind.
Zach closing in that much, and he hit the back of Coandy there. That around the final corner, just needs a good run under the Rolex board. DRS open. Here we go. Oh, Coandy goes.
And he defends.
Into a defensive position. Zach's going to have to go on the outside. Bit of contact. Coandy will try and hold this, but I think Zach just has too much speed. Andy into the
fair
back
play
of
to
him.
Andy. He's made him work for it.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Nice little battle there in the closing few laps of this race. Well, I think that's going to be where it stops for Zach, unfortunately. P5, 14-second gap now to Danny. I'm sure it'll come down slightly in the last couple of laps, but unless Danny picks up another penalty or two, I think that will be that. Nice little recovery drive though for Zach, it must be said. Matt Course goes and puts in the fastest lap. Whether he's on sauce. But still, fair play.
Yeah, this could be touch and go for Danny. I've just had a look and he's got more than I thought.
Really? Okay. Well, how many is he on? 3? I'm going to say 3 at least.
He is on 3. Ooh. And I think he's 1 warning away from a 4th.
Right then.
So he currently has 9 seconds. 1 more warning, that will be 12. And Zach is 13 and a half behind.
Yeah, a second and a half off that. So Zach is well in with a shout of P4 here somehow, which wouldn't be bad at all, considering he span and had to pit. Must be said though, the gap isn't coming down as quick as it was to the other guys. I don't think.
Front runners have just started their final lap.
Matt Course
is retired.
Oh. Big shame. So 5 DNFs. Meaning everybody that's finished now will get a point. Aaron's still not finding a way past F3. Still just not enough into turn 1. Gap now is 13 seconds between Danny and Zach. I would say Danny still needs 1 more penalty, but still might as well keep an eye on it.
Dutch has only got 2 corners to go now. He's done everything he needed to do tonight. He surrendered 2 points to Zach in qualifying, but
yeah, thought the long game.
He's still going to extend his gap.
Fantastic race from Dutch
to win round 10.
Decent P2 for Tico as well, taking advantage of his teammate's crash, and it'll be a double Mercedes podium if Brand can hold on to P3. I'm not sure what his penalty situation is. He's currently got a 2.2 second gap, and he does. Now the gap between Zach and Danny is 12.3. I don't think Danny picked up another penalty.
Danny got that last warning, so I think he's safe. He's indeed.
There we go.
P5 for Zach.
Danny would have got it anyway by 2/10 had he got another penalty either way. So a great recovery drive from Zach. Coandy with a P6. Pagani picking up a solid P7.
I'll say another solid points finish for Pagani. He's done well since being moved up to F1.
Yeah, definitely put up a very good fight. His teammates just behind him for a P8. Aaron will get that P9. And Raver's getting a point as well. Very nice. Very good race. Oh, it's all about that man on the top step. He extends his championship lead. Heading into the final 2 races. And Zach now is the one with it all to do. Right, that's everybody. Congratulations on the podium, guys. Alright, start off with the race winner then. Dutch Tricks. You're back again.
Yes. Yes.
And that could be
I wanted this one, so.
Yeah, well, it could be a huge moment in terms of the title. We'll get on to qualifying first, and we'll have a chat about the race. What was the thinking behind the medium tyre then? Obviously, Zach went for the softs, picked up the quick sort of 2 points in qualifying to close that gap before the race started. Were you ever thinking of doing a soft tyre run, or were you just thinking sort of long term?
At the beginning, I was thinking about the softs, but Tico and I discovered the mediums were much quicker after 2 laps, I think, already. So that decision was easy to make, and yeah, seeing a lot of guys on the mediums didn't expect that. So P2 was very happy with that, and Zach on P1 on the softs, I knew after the first few laps I will come close to him and overtake him, but he pitted on lap 5, which was pretty early in my eyes. So
yep.
Yeah, was already thinking about it in qualifying. So.
Yeah, I mean, before obviously the restart, you had that second run on the mediums. Now, me and Si were having a chat, and we thought you were just trying to cover Tico off. Is that sort of the thinking behind that?
What did you mean?
So you did like a second lap on that set of medium tyre.
Oh yes.
I mean, obviously you improved, but what was the thinking behind that? Were you just trying to cover off Tico in case he got in front of you, or was you just trying to get as close to Zach as possible?
Yeah, just trying to get as fast as lap possible. As always, I knew tyre wasn't the problem, so
okay.
I knew I could do 2 laps, and yeah, I had to do a cool down lap because you have no ERS and tires left after 1 lap, so that's why I did a cool down lap as well.
Yep, well, fair enough. So I definitely got it wrong then. Either way, it was massively important that you sort of started in front of Tico, because I think had the Ferrari started together, Tico definitely would have tried to hold you up, I think, and Zach might have just got a little bit too far ahead. Onto the race then. How did the race in general go for you?
Pretty well. Yeah, everything went well. Turn 1 at lap 1 was pretty close with losing the back end of the car, and yeah, on the braking my rear's locked, so I had to correct the car, and Zach pulled a little gap, but yeah, after that could close in on him again, so that went all pretty well. And then he pitted and managed to do the overcut. I think he was behind some traffic, so
yeah, I mean, he actually got quite lucky with the traffic. He was coming up behind a 3-way battle, and 2 of them crashed, and he just about managed to avoid it and get through, which I think would have saved him a lot of time, having not been held up by a couple of guys. Moving on later on in the race then, obviously you had the sort of pressure from Zach behind, but then had a little bit of a moment coming out of turn 1. He span it into the wall. What was your what was your mindset to that point? Just bring the car home?
Yes, was already thinking about it because I saw after one lap I was already pulling away from him because he was already 10 laps on his tire, so I was just managing everything, and then he spun, and I was like yes, but also no, because I knew the championship was gonna end sooner and the race wasn't gonna be that close as most of the people want in racing, because I like wheel-to-wheel action, of course, and now it was just managing the tires and the car and bring it home. So
I mean, he still had a pretty good recovery drive, did Zach. I think he ended up finishing P5, so
yes,
the title obviously isn't over. It isn't as close as perhaps a lot of us like to say.
24
would
points
like.
I think now.
I'm sure Sai will be able to quickly work that one out. Stat man over there.
24, it was 16, so close in 8 points almost.
Yeah, it was 14 after qualifying.
And then 10 in the race.
I think it's 18. No, yes, it's 18 or 20, I think.
20 for the win and 10 for P5, so 24 points now.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, heading into next week then, how are you feeling? Obviously, you just need to. I mean, if Zach crashes out next week and you win, then I think that's done. Unless
I'll win
Zach
only
gets
is
pole.
enough. I'll win only is enough, I think. If I'm right.
Yeah,
It'll be what, 44 points.
even second place.
Well, after next week, if Dutch goes into Brazil with a 22-point lead, it's
True.
it's
There you go.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
well,
I got more wins, so
I'm sure
I'll
you'll
win
like
is
to
all
wrap
I
it up.
need, I think.
Easy then, isn't it, Dutch?
I hope so. I definitely hope.
I'm sure you'll be welcoming back that title with open arms. How do you feel around USA? Is that a strong track for you?
Don't know actually. Haven't raced that much around there, so definitely need to do some practice around there. And then I'll see what's happening in the race.
Fantastic. Well, fantastic drive, mate. Big congratulations on the race win. I'm sure we'll be speaking to you next week. Alright, Sai, take it away.
Yep. So we've got Tico in P2. Congratulations. Talk us through your thinking in qualifying. Was it a case of whatever Dutch does, I'm going to do, or was that always sort of your plan from the outset to go the sort of harder tyre strategy?
Yeah, we did a practice race 1 hour before the race, and we decided to go for 2 laps. Yeah, I screwed up my second lap because I didn't even improve. My first lap was pretty decent, 0.07 of a second behind Dutch. And then my second lap I fucked up my exit to the lap. I lost already 1/10 of a second. So, yeah, wasn't the best qualifying.
Okay, well, early stages of the race, particularly out of trouble, sort of hung around behind Dutch waiting for pit stops, I guess. Tried the undercut, didn't quite work out. Now, when the pit stops all shook out, did you come out behind Zach?
Yeah, I did.
Can't remember. So you're pretty good view of what happened to him.
Yeah, I steered in for the first corner and saw him, yeah, into the wall. So I think it was on the exit, on the curb.
So there wasn't any contact or anything between him or anyone else, just dropped it on his own, yeah?
No, he dropped it on his own, I think.
Nah. Well, he still made a fairly decent recovery after that. But on to you. I think that's mathematically put you out of the running for the Drivers' Championship now. So what's the target for you for the final 2 races? Is it just to ensure that the team clinch the Constructors' title, and are you going to try and play any sort of part in the outcome of the drivers? Or is it just finish the season as strong as you can for you and to hell with everyone else?
Yeah, just win both the races and win the Constructor Championship. That's my plan, target.
Okay, well it's USA next. Had much experience with USA on the current game?
I did one practice session in the USA, and after that I decided to do a 5-lap race because I hate the track. It's awful. So, yeah, I even skipped it on my first season in career. So I don't think it won't be the best.
So I don't think it's a particularly popular circuit with the community, but yeah, it is the next race. It is on the calendar, and we've got to do it next week. So yeah, best of luck for the rest of the season. Hope you can finish it off as strongly as you started it. And yeah, good luck.
Thanks.
Well done.
Right, on to Bran then. How was that for you?
That's a good question. Obviously I'm quite happy with the podium. It's only my 3rd podium this year, but I don't know where my pace went on the hard tyres. You know, first stint I was matching Tico, which obviously I was very happy about, and then my pace just sort of blew up in that 2nd stint. Danny was right on my arse, but he spun. Don't know what happened there. He was lagging a bit. And then I was on my own really. It's quite, even though I didn't get in that many battles, quite a fun race. Just pushing the whole race. It was fun. So it weren't too bad.
Yeah, I mean another fantastic result for you. Like say, it was like you say your 3rd podium this year,
Yeah.
2nd of this season, 1st one since the opening round. So I think
I
you
got a
definitely.
podium in Canada as well, I think.
Did you?
3rd this
Oh yeah, you
season.
got a P2
Yeah.
in Canada, yeah. So yeah, cracking. Definitely a driver that goes under the radar, and just picks up solid results. How has it been, sort of adapting, sort of this season, and what are your targets going onwards?
Well, I think, to be honest, I've been a bit unlucky this season. I've had a few first lap incidents. But when I've had decent pace, I think I've been up there, you know. And I don't think that I've had to adapt or anything like that. I just think my pace is sort of the same, but like Dutch and Tico and Zach have just got ridiculously quick, and I don't think I can really follow them really. And I've just got to pick up the scraps, and that's about it.
Well, I think that result's moved you into the top 5. I think that's put you ahead of Coandy, and with Panda not racing this week either, it's moved you quite close to P4.
Yeah.
And I mean, having a sort of bad couple of weeks where you sort of missed a race at Belgium and then crashed out at Silverstone, I think that's still quite a strong season so far. Obviously 2 races left. Are you sort of pushing towards that top four finish?
I don't know, but like it's USA and Silverstone, so Silverstone I'm all right at, I think.
Brazil last race.
Oh, sorry, Brazil. Well, usually I've gone well at Brazil, but it's obviously it's a game now. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Obviously P4 would be nice, but I'm gonna have to get some good results in, I think, if I want to do that.
Yeah, well, hats off to you, mate. Congratulations on the podium.
Thank you.
That wraps it up then. Si, as the guest sort of commentator, would you like to end the stream for us?
You're getting lazy.
I am.
Fair enough. Yeah, so tomorrow night we've got F2 taking on the Hungary ring. My co-commentator Joe Burns currently leading the championship, so he'll be hoping to hold on to that. He's got a 12-point advantage over the chasing pack. So join Pagani and Leakehold tomorrow night and see how the boys get on.
Ciao for now.